Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another special Friday Eve. Special Friday Eve to get you going, to get you over that hump. Because when I got over the hump, now we gotta get over that part where it's the end of the week, and we gotta get to that. Because tomorrow, some of y'all might just get paid because it's Friday night, and you might just get jiggy on the town a little bit, make it shake your groove thing. We're not here for that because we're gonna talk about it tomorrow morning. Because what happens tomorrow morning, you're gonna show up at work, and they bought bagels for everybody. And one dude got the everything bagel, he still got enough feet chewing, and he trying to talk about what he did. And he's spitting pieces of bread all over the place, and he's talking about and that don't sound right. They don't know what he's saying. So the lady Ursula comes from the back. She the old black lady that been there forever. She got the big old butt and the swollen ankles and the short gray hair, but she real nice, and she bring candy because she got it for her grandkids, but the grandkids ain't eat all the candy. That's another story for another day. But she comes out of the background. She says, "You know what it is," and then everybody else in unison. I didn't know this was going to happen. They said it's the Thursday night throwdown. Yeah, baby, and that's how we start your Thursday night. Get you going, get you set right. Now tonight we got a lot of things to cover, but not a lot of time. All right, we got MLB conversation because they're moving some stuff around. You'll find that out in the very first segment. We got some news about some moves or changes to college football 27, which is big and dear to us because on some Saturday mornings you get the gridiron, which is based around the Sideline Junkies League for uh, the college football 27. We got some basketball stuff. We got a little affair we want to talk about. It's not a family affair. Well, it might be because I ain't gonna go there. Then we got some craziness with the Clippers and the Raptors. We got a jersey being retired. Actually, we need to pull that back one because we should go from the Raptors trade to Summer League because we got to talk about the matchup for the night, the big matchup between AJ and DP. Uh, then we'll get into John Riggins' uniform being retired. Who would you want to see next? I know KG got 10 people lined up, so get ready for that, y'all. Then we got the Miles report and the WNBA report all in one. And then we get to the coup de grace at the end of this. Hopefully we get to it around 8-ish is our goal. We got the ESPN Mount Rushmore, and this is ESPN hosts. We're not doing the duos, so don't say Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann. It's got to be one or the other. You can get with this, or you can get with that. All right. So
But
that's
I think
how
you
we
get with
doing
this because this is where it's at.
that. All right. So with that being said, that's the boss BJ. I'm the Midnight Rider. That's the big guy KG, and he's gonna take the wheels from here and get you going down this thing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Midnight Rider, for that rousing introduction. And bum skiggity bum, huh? Let's go. Starting this show off right. Sitting in here with two gentlemen that I love to call family. For the boss BJ, it's a special day for him and I. Today is John Shaft's birthday, so rest in peace to our dad, John Shaft. You know, two of the sons of Shaft of many, but we the sons of Shaft, and I had to make sure I shouted that out for BJ because I knew he didn't forget Dad's birthday. So rest in peace to our dad, John Shaft.
It's the funniest thing is the two things that just popped in my head were from the Samuel L. Jackson version, where the mom comes out and tells him that the drug dealer's messing with her son, and he like hits him in the. He's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I don't know." Pop the mouth. Who am I? He's like, "I don't know." Say John Shaft. John Shaft. John Shaft. That, and then when my man come down, he'd be like, 100% Egyptian cotton. It's more than your whole paycheck. All right, I'm sorry.
Most importantly, gentlemen, how y'all feeling?
I'm good, man. I got a little energy today.
Oh yeah.
I can't complain, man. I'm doing great.
Good, cause I'm ready to rock this with y'all, and I looked myself in the mirror pre-show and was like, don't get caught up in the minutia. Keep it moving. So I've already had a pep talk with me.
Okay.
First and foremost, this right here, when the Midnight Rider he put this in the chat, I'm like, what? MLB to move the Home Run Derby to Netflix. So the Home Run Derby has either been on ESPN or Fox for as long as I can remember. I think since the 90s, since the mid-90s, it's been like that. But now they're planning on, is it an official move, Midnight Rider, or is it just talks?
It's exclusively being aired on Netflix this year. So it's just another one of those situations where, the sports fan, the general sports fan gets screwed over because of the money grab. I mean, it's nothing like coming home from work. It's the Monday before the All-Star game. You're going to hear Chris Berman say, back 2 million times. You're going to get tired of it, but you still watch anyway because you just don't care. You get to see the guys with the Gatorade. You see the kids, and the kids are the guys that were the kids 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Now they're the dads, and they're sharing that experience with their son. And just the electricity. I mean, I remember Josh Hamilton the night he went crazy. The night that Bryce Harper donned the red, white, and blue flag around his head in D.C. and hit a bunch of home runs. Now, I'm going to tell you now, when you see the highlights, because I know you're not going to get Netflix just to watch this. Be prepared for Bryce Harper to be full Philly. He might even come out with a Philly cheesesteak. He might come out, and the guy from the Stanos might be his pitcher. He's going to go full Philly, like he's from Philly. He might even come out to Fresh Prince, Will Smith. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be over the top, obnoxious with the level of love for Philly. I wouldn't even doubt if he doesn't have the fanatic cleats on that he used to wear. He's going to Philly this up. He might even eventually call people Jones. Like, he's going to go full Philly. It's going to get on my nerves. But yes, this is an institution that should not be moved off of regular TV. And because they're doing it, it's the full money grab. And it's sad to see it because this is how you build fans. That's the part that kills me. Is you're taking what's the structure of building a fan out of the equation. These are the moments. You see a guy in the home run derby. You follow him the rest of the season. Some guys have great success. Some guys fall off. But it's just the moments. That's all.
I'm going to say something in the famous words of Stephen A. Smith. And I think I speak for all Washingtonians when it comes to Bryce Harper. We don't care. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't care.
I love the fact that they booed him and said, bleep Bryce Harper every time he came to bat. The last time he was here, even though he hit a home run to win the game, but that don't matter.
It won't. You know why it won't ever matter? Because they won a World Series after he left.
Right, but that's it.
He could hit a home run that bounces off the top light, off of McDonald's top sign, and lands into a cup outside the stadium. It won't ever matter.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to make it seem like the proverbial old man on this lawn, but how can you expect to expand a sport if you keep taking the access of the sport away?
That's what everybody don't understand. Remember, this is it's a perfect sport to talk about. It's a numbers game. They know how many people are subscribed to Netflix. They know how many people watch and have Netflix. They're willing to take that chance because somebody, whether you subscribe or not, you got somebody's login somewhere. You can get to Netflix, right? And it's something I've said on this show time and time again. Part of the consumer has to bite this because years ago, we wanted to cut the cord, and we cut the cord successfully. We did a good job. And over time, they found ways to get control back, and they've got basically almost full control. You still got some pirates out there, but they got control back. But don't think for a second they're not sitting there and like, well, 70% of households have Netflix anyway, and we're going to have our baseball diehards that want to watch that home run derby so bad because of how Midnight Rider it's what he said and KG said, it's a staple. It's exciting. You're gonna go get the subscription if you want to watch it, or you're gonna go get somebody's password. They're still gonna get their numbers.
You're absolutely right. Because I'm sitting there debating hard. Do I want to do? Because through Netflix, I think I can get it for $8.99, but I got to get it with ads. But I don't know if it comes live with live stuff. Like I'm sitting here because that's my thing, man. Do I go with the full $14.99 and bite the bullet for a month? You know what I'm saying? And all I'm gonna do is watch that, and then I might probably see that's where they're gonna get you, because then they're gonna have something good. Come on, like sitting there in the thing, like it's gonna be like Rounders. I already know this is how they gonna get me. It's gonna be Rounders, Moneyball. What's the other joint that I can't stop watching? It's gonna be Cars, and it's gonna be Wreck-It Ralph, the first one. And I'm gonna be sitting there watching all that, and they're gonna be like, "All right, we got him. Watch it. He ain't gonna give up next month," and that's how it's gonna be.
Or after the 3 or 4 beers and the night ends, you're gonna forget about it, and you're gonna remember it when you're in line at McDonald's and you got that last $10 in your pocket. You're trying to get a McDouble and a soda and a small fry, and your phone gonna chime for $8.99 for Netflix, and you're gonna be like, "Damn it!"
Yep.
That's exactly how it worked too. That's why I be checking my app right before. I be like, "Oh, let's go."
But I don't understand this. This makes absolutely no sense in my book. Speaking of not making any sense, we also talk about gaming here. Of course, as the Midnight Rider said, EA Sports has snuck microtransactions into EA Sports College Football 27. I'll toss this over to the boss, BJ.
So basically, if you've ever played sport games, you don't have to be up to date on it. Long before there was VC and MUT points and everything else you could buy, you grinded your way for your player to earn points and to upgrades and different things. And the makers of 2K decided to drop VC points long ago, and now you can buy your way to the top. So what EA Sports has done in single player mode, when you're doing Road to Glory or Dynasty, your coach caps out at a certain level. And to get that level up further, you have to buy more of the XP points for your coach now. So what they also done, they've taken where you could control your XP slider. So you can have your coach, you can have a game XP, and for the players, so you can have a game XP slow, medium, or fast, however you wanted your season to go, right? They've taken that way completely. They probably dialed it down so that I think they say you only get 16,000 points if you win a championship. So just imagine how long it's going to take you to. They claim that you can still get to the top, but just imagine if you're playing, even if you're a streamer. Let's say you play 5 seasons. By that 5th season, 28's out. This game's over. So they've ruffled a lot of feathers. Right now, I think they're standing firm on. I wish I had screenshotted their release. They look like they're standing firm on it. It doesn't affect the online dynasty, and that's what we do in the Sideline Junkies podcast league. So it doesn't affect that right now. We can turn that on and off in our settings. But a lot of people are upset, man. A lot of people are upset. The gameplay looks amazing. I gotta give it to them. Gameplay looks amazing. The things they've added in, as far as how much you can control, the NIL factors into this 27 and what school you have, how many points you have. But a lot of people are pissed off about the microtransactions, man. And I want to kick it back to the big guy because he is a proprietor of offline play. He's that's one of his staples. So I want to hear what his thoughts is about it.
Well, before you get my thoughts, let me go to Maddie. He said, I heard a rumor that there's a show coming up on July 27th about how leagues are really starting to price fans out on July 27th at 5 p.m. I wonder, Maddie,
what network could that possibly be on? Because I think it sounds like it's exclusive. Because that's hot shit right there. Yeah. That sounds exclusive.
Midnight Rider. Could you find out what network that's on?
No, hold on. Let me look at the calendar because the 27th is a Monday.
It's a Monday.
5 p.m. on Mondays. Drive time.
Where can Drive Time be seen at?
Only on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network, baby.
There it is. And like I'm anticipating this because I'm the old man standing on the grass, shaking his fist at the cloud, but I got a right to this time. I love that, Maddie. And
who else is on that show with Maddie?
I believe it's Showtime Sarah and Scooter.
The queen of hair flips.
But I'm gonna say this. When it comes to these microtransactions, this is what turned me off on NBA 2K, because I used to have my career, my player, whatever. It was started out as my player in 2K11, and I grinded every year. You know, I could get a season. I could get 3-4 seasons done, you know, at one time. And sometimes I just keep playing the game. Like I still have a player on 2K13 that I can go back and play if I want to. Same thing with my Madden franchise. I do Madden franchises offline and I keep them for years. You know, I don't delete none of that. I may go back and play the game here and there, but I never delete it. But you're telling me that now I have to pay actual money instead of getting my weight up and grinding. I can't do it. I can't. In the words of Mike Singletary and the Midnight Rider, can't win with him. Won't win with him. Can't coach him. I can't do it. Won't do it. I am on the fence right now if I really want to go ahead and purchase this game or not. Like, that's how deep it is for me, because I don't even think I really want to purchase the game because of this bull. And the thing is, we've been asking EA Sports to fix certain things in Madden since Madden 2004. Yep. Nope, Madden 2005. 4 or 5. So we've been asking for 20 some odd years for them to fix certain things that are still happening in Madden 26.
Especially once that's around when it went online, right?
Yep.
And you can start seeing people are exposing flaws in the game online. So yeah.
And Anthony, I got you. We're naming ESPN host tonight, buddy. We're doing ESPN host. He said, first of all, I've been saying this since I've gone on this channel, that sports in general has priced out everyday fans like us. They care more about the corporate sponsorship and fans. That's why the NFL, NBA, MLB, and WWE tickets are so damn expensive. Yeah.
If you are a 9-to-5 person, regular everyday Joe, and your team makes a championship game, unless you got some money sitting in your house, the tickets look like they're at least 10 grand to get in the building. The best you could do is buy you a plane ticket in a hotel and get to the parade. That's probably the cheapest thing that you're going to do. Or be in the city and go to one of the bars like that, a backer bar where it's all Commanders fans or it's all Bills fans or whoever, and just enjoy that experience. But unless you got some media credentials or something, or you hit Mega Millions, or unless you do a lot of overtime, it's going to be hard to get in one of them stadiums.
I remember 2012 when the Nats won Game 4. I think it was the Jason Worth home run game. Calling everybody. I'm just, oh man, you gotta peel me off the ceiling. And I remember putting a note. I don't know how much blood I gotta donate and how many sperm banks I gotta hit, but I'm going to Game 5, one way or another. Now I don't see that happening. But I remember back, what was it? I think it was the Eagles' first Super Bowl. I remember listening to WYP, and they were talking about people literally getting second mortgages on their homes to go to the Super Bowl, man. It's crazy. But that's what fandom is.
And I won't put all leagues in it because you could probably get to a Defenders Championship game. MLS, I don't know what their ticket prices look like. They probably more NHL. Our NHL regular season games are expensive. That's why I've never been. Every time I look at tickets for an NHL game, I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna go get some groceries.
Yeah.
It's always been like that. But not every league, but the your top leagues, you're not. It's just
baseball is actually pretty cool when you like. I used to always go um early in the season while school was in session, so that way you can go on a Tuesday night, and I used to sit second, third row in 136, the fabled 136. Um, spend about $40, spend 25 on parking, and it wasn't killing me. And I spent about spent a nice amount on beers, but still, it was a good time. And that sixth inning, get a nice little shot of, I mean, not a shot, get a nice little glass of Jack Daniels. You know, be good. Rest of the game, baby. That 7 to the stretch, and that song come on, boys. Good times. That's part used to rock. It was a beautiful thing, especially in 2012. Uh, just it was like the first time this city actually started becoming baseball fans, and I think that's the one thing that like some of the baseball purists don't get is baseball has a certain way about it. And what happened was they basically dropped a team in a city that had no experience with baseball outside of a couple going to Baltimore, and then expected them to be super fans right away. You can't do that. All right, I'm in minutia, so let's go.
We gonna touch on this Spurs play-by-play. Cat.
I mean, only thing really that come out of it is their play-by-play guy. Front Office Sports is reporting that he's been fired because he's had an affair with one of the players' sisters, and they've released the player's sister. It's not like one of the main people. It's a guy down on the bench, which doesn't make it better. But allegedly, his girlfriend went to his phone late, I guess, over the weekend, and decided to expose him as a cheater, expose this whole relationship. She signed into his account, I guess, posted the pictures of him and the girl, and then said he's a terrible person, blah 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 blah. More than likely now, the NBA has a fraternization policy, which means that he loses his job.
You said this is a girlfriend, right?
The girlfriend goes in, finds out he's cheating with this other woman, and then starts to expose it.
So, I understand the fraternization policy, but how is this fraternization per se?
He was sleeping with her?
Yeah, I think it's
okay, but this is not
organization.
A player or somebody a part of the organization. This is somebody on the fringe, on the outside, but the fringe still. This is like
family counts.
Family counts, and you gotta think about he's their play-by-play guy. So when they dole out rings, the play-by-play guys get rings.
Okay.
You remember in this area, I think all of 106.7 got rings when the Nats won the World Series.
Did not know that. So how come if the NBA is so strict on fraternization, who is that? Austin Rivers and who is that? Austin Rivers and somebody, or is it somebody's married to, who's that's married to Doc Rivers' daughter?
But that's not, I know what you're talking about. It doesn't count because he's not part of the Milwaukee organization.
So it doesn't count because they're not part of the same organization.
Right.
I'm glad you said that because now I'm about to catch you up in your own theory. So LeBron James is sleeping with a teammate's mom, but we're not going to count that.
Who's LeBron James' mom? You mean Delonte West?
No. LeBron James was sleeping with a teammate's mom last season. But we're not going to count that, huh? We're not, he's the king, so we're not going to count that, huh?
Dude, you got some stuff with you, bruh.
Bro, where you get that from?
You must be watching TMZ late night or something.
You don't get it.
Nah.
he was teammates with his son, so he's sleeping with his son's mom. Come on now.
Got you.
Come on now. Y'all didn't get where I was going with that. Come on.
That was a good one.
Because y'all was looking like, where did you get that from?
Oh, that's a good one.
I try to keep the comedy light.
I think that situation got grandfathered in.
Yeah. Nothing you can do about that because they've been married for 20 some odd years, so ain't nothing you can do about that. Next up, the Clippers Raptors trade on hold. Sean says that directly off of X, the Los Angeles Clippers Toronto Raptors trade of Kawhi Leonard will not be completed until the NBA investigation into the Clippers is over. A statement from the Clippers to ESPN is, for the past 10 months, our organization has fully cooperated with the NBA investigation, participating in dozens of interviews, providing tens of thousands of documents, and facilitating access to our staff. While the process has been challenging, we have remained committed to transparency. On July 30th, we reached an agreement in principle to trade Kawhi Leonard to the Toronto Raptors, and we have been since informed the trade can only be finalized if the Raptors ownership group assumes the risks of penalties related to, I don't have the rest of it, but they got to assume the risk. Please, Midnight Rider, break that down.
It goes on to say the Raptors, meanwhile, issued their own statement saying they would wait for the league's findings rather than assuming that risk, but they remain eager to bring Kawhi back to Toronto and look forward to a swift resolution for our players, organization, and our fans. The NBA investigation is into the Clippers is focused on whether they circumvented the salary cap by funneling money to Leonard through his $28 million endorsement deal with now bankrupt Green Company Aspiration, which also had a $300 million, 23-year endorsement deal with the team. This is going to be a mess. And the funny part about this is I always quote Wilbon when I talk about this, and this is apropos for this situation where he talks about they spend money on lawyers to create a collective bargaining agreement, and then they close the door after that agreement is signed, and they turn around and find lawyers to help them circumvent the thing they just collectively bargained. And that's what this looks like. This is what this seems like. I think it's a little unfair because I think the only part of this that Toronto should take on is whatever penalties he get in terms of missing games. That should be the only part of the penalty that they should have to deal with. In terms of fines and everything else, I think that should fall solely on the Clippers because they were the ones engaging in this transaction.
I thought the way I read it is that way. I think the part that the Raptors are unwilling to that's they're hesitant now is that they might be talking about suspending him for quite amount of time.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the thing is, this was an issue when he got traded to the Clippers. So my thing is, why is this investigation not over with? Why all of a sudden he get traded and now this comes back up? And it's kind of like one of them things like, okay. And the Raptors can still do the deal. They're just not willing to take. I think we were talking about a 30-year-old Kawhi Leonard where you had more time with him. I think they got a 2-year window once they get him to try to do what they're going to do. So you talking about him maybe missing a whole season. I understand why they backed out of it, but it's just interesting that this came up when he gets traded from the Clippers. I would have thought it would have been over with.
Well, maybe it was over with.
Maybe they got the NCAA doing this investigation because the NCAA takes at least 12 to 18 months to investigate anything.
People
I don't know who's worse than the NFL. The NFL will take 18 months and then tell you that there was no report written for the investigation that they did, and there's no evidence of the report because the report was never written out. Don't know how that works, but I digress.
But you know what they say, Midnight Rider. The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. And there are known unknowns and unknown unknowns. We don't know what we're dealing with. This could be a known unknown.
Well, what this sounds like?
They crossing every T and dotting every I right now. I don't know what Kawhi did and who he pissed off, man, but
it looks like somebody went over to Iraq or Iran and found some yellow cake. That's what it sounds like.
Don't drop that shit. Oh Lord. Oh man. Next up, we have the Summer League Spotlight. Now I know this is something that you wanted to talk about on Tuesday, Midnight Rider. Hit me off, man.
Nah, it's just real simple. Tonight we got 1 versus 2. This was the discussion all season. And the NBA Summer League, I think the NBA Summer League has somebody from like not recent WWE, old school WWE, that sits in the front and he's like, let's make money. Like the easiest thing to do is have AJ DeBanza debut against Darren Patterson. Or Peterson, I'm sorry. It's just the easiest thing. It's going to make sense. It's going to make money. It's going to sell. And I think after that, I think they play A-Cuff and they play another. I think they play Caleb Williams later on. So the Wizards' first 3 games are against the guys in almost the top 4 or the top 5. So they did this last year with the 1 and 2. They did this the year before. There was one year when Sarr, I think that was 2 years ago, when he was the second pick. So they started their season with playing against the Hawks and Ricochet. It's the one part of their formula that just they keep rolling out there and it keeps working. And Peterson has shown, I think he had 28 the first night, but he had 7 turnovers. The second night he had 25 and 12. So what I don't want people to do, this is Summer League. Leave it there. Unless he comes out and looks like Johnny Davis, leave it there. It's a one-time thing. It's going to happen.
Or Eddie Jones.
Nah, Summer League didn't matter enough for Eddie Jones to flake out. It's only in the playoffs that he disappears. Like, that's what I'm going to do. My next gift, or if I can find it, I'm just going to put Eddie Jones jersey on Homer Simpson and have him when he goes into the bushes, that's playoff Eddie Jones.
It's always got to shit on Eddie Jones, man. Anyway, I like what you said. It's only Summer League because I remember I was a part of it when Sarr had a big Summer League game. That first game, I was like, all right, they got them one. The Wizards got him one, and then after that, I think he scored like 2 points the next 3 games.
The next game, he was like 2 for 11 from the floor.
Yeah, it was a really bad game. The rest of his Summer League was bad, and I was like, spoke too soon.
Look, I mean, this is the best way to tell people. This time of year, we making gumbo, not grilled cheese sandwiches. That's all I'm gonna say. We making gumbo, not grilled cheese.
I'm gonna tell you something, Anthony. They do that to get on my nerves and irritate me because I love Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones is a Laker. I always say if you got Eddie Jones in your team, the second you trade Eddie Jones away, whatever piece come back, you're gonna wind up winning the championship. When he got traded from the Lakers, they wound up winning 3.
They won 3 because they got rid of him and Eldon. They didn't win 3. I said they didn't win 3 because of the trade. They won 3 because they got rid of him and they got rid of Eldon. When you get rid of Albatross, life is a lot lighter. It's easy to work.
Only teams that did not get better once they let Eddie Jones go was the Charlotte Hornets. That was it. He got traded He got traded from Charlotte to Miami because they broke that team up anyway. After the death of Bobby Fields, they broke that team up. That was one of the young teams that was up and coming. They broke them up. He got traded out of Miami. Miami wound up winning the championship after he's gone. It's like,
ladies and gentlemen, everybody on this show got a button they can be pressing. I'm telling you, everybody on this show got a button. I'm letting you know.
We going WNBA. We're gonna switch over to the NFL and then go to WNBA.
Let's do NFL because that's gonna take a little bit, and then we can run through a Miles report. We ain't got to do nothing special on that, so we can get to the Mount Rushmore like around 8 or 8:05.
All right, so
this is gonna take like 2 minutes.
Okay, the Washington Commanders have announced that they're going to retire John Riggins 44 on November 8th. I'll toss it to the boss BJ, the Midnight Ride, and then I'll close it up.
I honestly thought the 44 was already retired. I remember, and KG, maybe you can help me. I remember him doing something, opening a game at when it was FedEx Field. This was some years ago. I really thought that was his retirement. The number being retired, I guess not.
I think that was his Ring of Fame.
Oh, okay.
There was
So
one
it's
he came
something.
out in he came out in full Redskins gear, helmet, pads, everything.
That was
his,
at RFK.
No. This was at FedEx because I remember him this is when he still had his radio show. He was disappointed because the stadium was half empty. I remember him going on that rant. But I really thought that was his jersey retirement, but I guess not. This is way long overdue. Should have been happened. So, Midnight Rider.
Yeah, totally. I mean, this is one of those fixtures in your franchise. He's got more memorable moments that you can shake a stick at. You know, you can count them off. You can talk about the 82 playoff run, the 83 playoff run, the Minnesota Bowl, the 4th and 1. Like he's got plays that's synonymous with this team going on to bigger and better things. And there's no person that like this should have been done. I had this conversation earlier at work. This should have been done. He goes in the Hall of Fame the next season after. He should have been boom and number retired. And I don't know why they do we're going to take the number out of rotation, but we're not going to retire it.
Yeah.
Well, what is that? It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. We're going to take the number out of rotation, but we ain't going to retire it. Well, then, I mean, you technically unofficially retired it because nobody else can wear it. So why don't you just do the right thing and retire it? And unfortunately, you had 20 years of incompetency with some number, and no offense to the legacy of Sean Taylor, but Sean Taylor's number got put up in the rafters as a PR move, not as anything else.
Yes.
They were taking on too much water with those court cases and the stuff that came out, and they always use Sean Taylor as their get out of jail free card.
Yep.
They did it when they named the street after him. They had the porta parties out. They did it when they retired his number. He was there, get out of jail. We need goodwill. Hey, let's drop 21 and let's see what happens. Because there's no way Taylor's number should go up before Jurgensen, Riggins, Mitchell, Green, and Monk. It just shouldn't have been. I think he went up after Mitchell, but still, he shouldn't have gone up before Riggins, Jurgensen, Monk, and Green. Just shouldn't have happened.
And Ryder, I'm gonna say something before KG speak. You said, he has those plays that's, like etched in Redskin lore, but that's NFL lore. That's NFL films. Like when they show footage, 30 seconds, Riggins run versus Miami is almost always in there. So, KG, that's all I want.
Now I can't defend the team on this because I never understood why teams, not just the Washington franchise, because at the time they were the Redskins, but they didn't have a legacy of retiring numbers. Sammy Ball was the only number that was ever retired before they retired Bobby Mitchell's. And you said that Sean Taylor was a PR move. I feel that Bobby Mitchell's number retirement was a PR move too, because you have people that come in that don't know the legacy of the Washington Redskins. They don't know about Bobby Mitchell. They give his number to the likes of Leonard Stevens. When Spurrier came in, they gave 7 and 9 to Danny Wolford and Shane Matthews and didn't understand the uproar in it because you don't understand what goes on in DC. That's a problem. But now it seems like we have some competency, and it seems like every year we're going to get some numbers retired. And I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. I was okay with Sean Taylor's number being retired because the thing is, Sean Taylor, his death affected a generation. It affected several generations, actually, because you got to think about it. The generation before us, our generation, and then the generation after us, that was little kids growing up when he passed, it affected them as well. So, Rigo going in, absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Long overdue. Now I'll ask this question to the panel. Can you name a few numbers that should be retired that aren't?
Well, I'm gonna leave that to you guys because y'all know I'm a Bills guy. So
I'm gonna say this, and this is where I think the limit should be you retire the rest of the numbers that you've taken out of rotation. So I think that's Joe T's 7. Um, I think it's Charlie Taylor's 42, which is another number that should have been retired before Taylor's, and retired before Monk's, or they should have gone together because Monk and Taylor were tied at the hip to a certain extent.
Yep.
Only other person I can see, to be honest with you, somebody brought him up was Larry Brown, and that's it. Those are 3 numbers I think should go in, and then we should just hold off. And I think everybody else. I mean, no offense to Brian Mitchell, but I think he had a Ring of Fame career. I don't put him in. I don't retire at 30. And to me, bad people have won 30 since he left. That I think you can't wash the smell and the stench of Troy Apke off of that 30. Adam Archuleta, you just can't because everybody's gonna forever see it, and everybody's gonna forever know what that is. Like because you didn't do it right away, I think it's gonna be funky. I think you also can't do 17. I know Doug had a great moment, but I think Doug made a hot song. Terry's probably gonna have a hot career, but still don't think. I think they're both Ring of Fame good. I don't think they're Hall of Fame good or retired jersey good.
To be quite honest, I had a list, and it's a very short list, and you named 3 off my list already, and I'm like, I'm good with that.
But you got more.
I would say Sam Huff, his 70, because that was taken out of circulation. It was brought back for Leonard Marshall in the 90s, but it was okayed by Sam Huff. He okayed that.
I hate that.
Of course, Joe Theismann okayed Dwayne Haskins wearing 7. I really think that Charles Mann 71 is one.
Nope.
Nope.
Ring of Fame.
Okay.
Enjoy looking at your name in the sky, but keep your number in rotation, baby.
Jerry Smith's 87.
Enjoy your name in the Ring of Fame, baby.
Jerry Smith should be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not gonna get into it with you. And finally, Santana Moss.
Hold on. There's something over 328. Oh, that's Jerry Smith's name. That's where it belongs. All right, there we go.
Ooh, boy, we're gonna have to talk about that this summer. Which Hall of Fame career, but being kept out of the Hall of Fame because of politics, and you don't want to retire. Okay, and last but not least, Santana Moss is 89.
Ring of Fame.
89? No, I ain't
Ring of Fame.
I ain't even no fan. I ain't retiring at 89, baby.
No.
Russ Grimm 68.
Ring of Fame. Thank you for your contribution. It's been real. We appreciate you.
Okie dokie. I mean, okay.
I mean, that's just my thoughts. I mean, because I think when you retire jerseys, you can't just like the sad thing or the crazy thing is the Yankees have no opportunity to ever have somebody wear a single digit number, and that's mostly because of the numbering system back in the day.
Yes,
most guys got
your number was the place you get in the lineup,
right?
Gary Clark, Ricky Sanders.
Oh, mommy, do you see what's that say, mommy? Oh, that says Gary Clark. Oh, it's in the Ring of Fame. Okay. I think Ricky Sanders needs to get in the Ring of Fame. I think that should happen this year as one of the other things. I think he should go up. I think that whole posse deserved and earned the right to be in the Ring of Fame together.
Mark Mosley.
Paul, there's a number there's a guy's name up there. He was a kicker. He was an MVP. Who's that? Oh, it's Mark Mosley, sir. Okay. I understand it, but Mosley kicked here I'm not putting a kicker in my. No, I'm not retiring the kicker's number. I'm sorry.
Not. Anthony says, he said it affected me a lot because I actually watched his high school highlights in middle school, then watched his college highlights in Miami during my freshman and sophomore year of high school. And talking about Sean Taylor.
Right.
He said, questioning the NFL, is there a league-wide number that should be retired that no team should use, like you see with the MLB, NBA as well with Bill Russell 6, where they're retired or no team uses?
No,
there isn't. But I don't think there is one, and that's a trailblazer pioneer, not in the NFL.
I understand 42.
Yes.
I can deal with 6.
32.
For who?
Jim Brown.
Nah. Nope. Even in rotation.
I'm
like 7 years.
thinking. I know, but I know. I'm gonna give KG Mark Mosley though.
Okay.
Leave somebody on my side tonight.
I knew what this was going to be when I walked into this room, and I chose violence.
Yeah, apparently you did. It's going to be some furniture movement during the next commercial break. I'm going to let you know that now.
We haven't taken a commercial break, so
we're going to do this Miles report first.
Reggie White.
Furniture movement.
Reggie White.
Nope.
Nah, not for the league.
Because he wore 91 for his first couple of years.
Yeah.
When he got to Philly.
I mean, league retiring is there. We talking about you made the all-century team. You were the best at your position. Then that would be Deion.
No,
Lawrence Taylor.
Taylor. No. I'm just naming names. I'm talking about absolute best at your position. Tom Brady.
I mean, you would have to go back to, no disrespect. You would have to go back because I think Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier is the key to that 42 plus the career he had.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Russell plays in Boston, wins 13 championships with Boston, and Boston was probably one of the more, let's say, not diverse towns or accepting of diversity. So it's amazing that they had some of the players on the team that they had, and they still had the success they had.
Interesting topic. Interesting.
Yeah, we might have
to bring it back. That's one of the ones we got to put a pin in.
I'll make sure I write that down. Anthony said, how about number 13, Dan Marino? He was a trailblazer at the quarterback position.
He was a trailblazer, but right now he's not considered the best ever, though.
No.
That's A, and B, he just never had, after a certain extent, the teams that he was surrounded by were just terrible.
Yep.
His best team was his 84 team. Everything after that kind of diminished in how good the teams were. I mean, I think of the running backs. He had Bobby Humphrey, Sammy Smith. Just, that's not exactly stuff that you write home about. And, you say, running backs of a decade or of an era. That's just, no.
All right, Gentle Max. Now it's time for the Olivia Miles report and the WNBA. I turn this over to the Midnight Rider.
Let's do it this way because the news this week was the young lady Chindy. Is it Chindy Carter?
Yeah.
She got cut this week by the Aces. And I just think it's funny that this young lady has not managed to find a way to catch on anywhere. She's extremely talented, but it's something about her. It's something about her makeup that just I just don't get it, man. But she finds a way to get or to alienate her teammates. Looks like last night, Olivia Miles was out with a calf strain, but the Lynx did win 86-80 over the Connecticut Sun. The Valkyrie, 83. The Toronto, what are they? The Speed, 83 to 75. I think that's what they are. Tempo. My bad. Um, that logo just threw me off. The Sparks win 106 to 92 over the Indiana Fever. Let's see what the franchise. Caitlin Clark, 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. That's not good. Um, Looks like the Sparks, all their starters were in double digits. So they did their thing. Going back to Tuesday, the Wings, 88, Liberty 77. Um, Page do Page gave you 15. Not a good night. 17. I mean, I'm sorry, 15, 7, and 6, which ain't bad. Breonna Stewart gave you 29, and Young Kill Jones gave you 17 and 12. Now, if I'm saying her name wrong, y'all can correct me because I apologize in advance. The Chicago Sky, 77. The Phoenix Mercury, almost called them the Sun, 66. No, what's her name? I keep forgetting her name. Kalia Cooper drops 25. You know what I'm be real interested in seeing, dog? Not to go off on a tangent, but the unrivaled season, I think is going to be very interesting because I think we've gotten a great addition of individual players the last 2 years into the sport that I think is going to be very interesting how the unrivaled plays out, how these teams get set up. But that's all I got on that. So you want to take a commercial break and come back with the
piece of resistance? I just want to say this before we go to break.
Oh,
I don't know if you heard, but Congress is talking about monitoring and passing down legislation to the WNBA on the rough fouls Caitlin Clark has been taking, and they're going to call it a hate crime, is what they're saying. That's not off the onion or anything else. That is true shit coming out of DC.
Oh.
And I'm going to say this, as I've said before, I make no apologies about what I'm saying. I hate the term, but y'all are doing too much. Like, really. Yeah, you play to win the game. Sometimes you got to be tough. If you can't take it, get in the weight room. Get your weight up. Don't go in there with the trees if you feel like you getting knocked down. Learn how to be a spot-up shooter. It's the game of basketball. Stop being soft about it. I've seen girls get grabbed by their ponytail and pulled down. I've seen wigs fly off. I've seen girls get elbowed in the mouth and the ribs. Nobody's trying to put Congress legislation on that, but come on now. This is doing too much. This is overboard now. Like if Congress intervenes and does this to the WNBA, as much as I would love to see my Comets play, just go ahead and shut the season down. Shut the league down after this. Shut it down. Don't play in the WNBA no more. Y'all can go back to going overseas. Just erase the league because y'all done messed it up now. Just my opinion.
Okay.
And by the looks of my partners here, I think it's time for a commercial break.
I mean, we ain't got nothing. I hadn't heard that, so that's all you.
Oh, trust and believe. I'll send it to you.
Oh no, don't do that. I'm good. I'm good. No, don't do that. I'm good.
Oh man, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
What you want me to do? It's just your network. I mean, every commercial break is about you and what you want to do. What are we doing here?
Thank,
What do you want? What do you want me to
thank,
say?
thank you for that lash out.
I mean, what do you want me to say? Every time we go to commercial break, it's the same thing. Saturday Night WrestleManiacs. And then you might be nice because if we take 3 breaks, the third break, you throw us a bone and give us somebody else. But every other commercial break, it's the WrestleManiacs. I don't even debate. I don't even look up because I know what's gonna happen. When I hear the music, I know what it is. I just deal with it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. It is the Thursday Night Throwdown. We apologize for me outlashing at my co-host for his continuous need and consistent wanting of playing only one commercial or 2 commercials of the 8 shows that we got on the network. But obviously, he doesn't care. Um, so I apologize in advance that you got to witness that. That should have been behind the scenes. But here we are, Sideline Junkies, Thursday Night Throwdown. We get to the moment where we have talked about all night, and this is where we talk about. We've been doing Mount Rushmores. It's kind of been our thing, and this one is the Mount Rushmore of ESPN hosts. I don't know if we got to do order because I don't want to know like who's your one. Maybe we do want to know who's your 1, who's your 2, who's your 3, and your 4. I don't know if I thought about it that way.
Nah, I don't think we need to do order, but I do have a little pin, a little caveat I want to drop for all of us.
Okay.
You have to represent one of the fine women that sat in that seat. So somebody on your Mount Rushmore has to be one of the ladies.
Okay. All right. Boom.
Is that fair?
That's fair.
Because it's a male dominated, thing. So we gotta represent the ladies.
I think we might have a consensus, but yeah, that's fair.
Okay. All right. Look, this is a moment we all been waiting for. Mount Rushmore ESPN hosts. Who's going first?
Let's just go down the line. So start at the top of the screen, KG, and go down.
All right. Well, of course, I think this is the one that everybody's going to get. And it's none other than probably the coolest brother that was on the network. He got you ready for school, got you ready for work, got you ready for class. Style was unmatched. Absolutely missed, and that's Stuart Scott.
Okay.
I think that's on everybody's list. So let me just go ahead and take Stuart Scott and send him to the stratosphere because, I mean, he represents the voice of a nation. He represents the voice of a time.
And I do have Stuart Scott on mine. And I think for everything KG said, but also as a young black kid trying to find my way early on, like I watched sports. I knew you see representation there. You can play football, you can play basketball. Seeing him sit in that chair and make it look so easy took my mind places that I hadn't even thought about yet. Like, hey, maybe that's something I can do. If he can do it, he's making it look easy. He's still being us doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Stuart Scott definitely on my list. Yeah, Ryder?
Yeah, I mean, that's the easy one. I mean, I think he was one of those people that I had to get used to him because he did sports the way I'd never seen somebody do it. And I was kind of like, oh, just give me the sport. And then it kind of started growing on me and growing on me. And then when you start thinking about, well, if we can accept other people adding their wrinkle to it, why can't I accept this guy that looks like me and is in my own tone? Why can't I accept him doing the same thing that other people in the network are doing?
It's
That's
when so hard. It's so hard. I'm sorry, Ryder.
No, that was the moment that I was like, yeah, I gotta back off of this and just listen to him. Mm-hmm. And then the whole thing of the cooler on the other side of the pillow, some of the antics he did where he was trying to take something off the jugs machine. He had the accident where he kind of lost sight in his eye or damaged his eye. But I think nothing hit harder than that ESPN ESPYs when his 2 daughters got up and talk to represent him, if you had a dry eye, then you had no feelings,
Yeah.
or you just had your TV on mute. There was no way you could sit through that without those little girls getting you to think that people were cutting onions in the back.
Yep.
Hmm.
It's crazy because Ryder, I was the complete opposite. Listening to sports and stuff, people give you the sports news and stuff because nobody was doing it like that. I felt like I took to it instantly, right?
Right.
So I love how you, because it's like I was the opposite. As soon as I heard him, I was like, "Hey, he look like me. Kind of talks like me too." And this dude's cool, And you knew what time, like KG said, you knew what time to get up to watch Stuart Scott, get your day ready. So, KG,
Next
I
up,
think
we
it's
talked about her just a couple of weeks ago. For me, Linda Cohn. I talk about hearing her voice down at ESPN Zone with trivia. You trying to go to the bathroom, you hear Linda Cohn talking to you doing trivia. You walking on the floor in between the music, you hear Linda Cohn. So her voice was always there. She's always one of my favorites, and she also had not very many catchphrases, but her delivery was always spot on every time.
and I have Linda Cohn also. I think this is one of the ones maybe we all have.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I have Linda Cohn also, man. Just a mainstay. Like KG said, the delivery. She she had her own little twist to it, and she did her thing. She did her thing in a world dominated by men, and she got up there and she held her own. So kudos to her, Ryder.
I think yeah, I'll go ahead and keep us in sync. Um, but I think the thing that to me was she wasn't the classic fit. I said this when we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Linda Cohn had red hair or dark hair. She didn't have the blue eyes. Um, she wasn't the bombshell, that America wants. She was the epitome of a fan, and a person that truly and genuinely loves sports. Like or I think we could tell that she got to her place because of her hard work and her determination, not because of her physical looks and her attributes. And that's not trying to call the young lady ugly. I'm just saying she doesn't fit the narrative. And when you don't fit the narrative, sometimes you don't get the opportunities. But her ability to bring people in and create the story around and the context around what she was reporting is the reason why I believe she got or deserves the loves that she gets.
Well, I think this is where we differ at. This is where
Yep.
we're gonna be the thinning of the herd. I got Trey Wingo.
Mm.
Had to pull that one out.
Okay. You gonna give us some information on that? Why? Or you just gonna say Trey Wingo?
No, Trey Wingo was one of those ones that just he wasn't he was just him. He wasn't flash and dash. He was him, and he got to it. And it's like if I knew Trey Wingo was on Sports Center, I knew I was good. And that's how I always felt about him.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, fellas. I'm gonna have to go with the foundation. Chris Berman, 79. I have to go with the foundation. You know, just like we talk about here, 2017, how much it means to us and how we started from. You got to go from the start. It doesn't start without Chris Berman. 1979 ESPN. I think over the years, especially as media has got more and more, you can look on your phone. I think his phrases and stuff you get a little tired of hearing him, but like I said, he's the foundation. So I got Chris Berman.
I also have Berman on my list, so I don't want to us to jump around since it seems like we've been in unison. Um, I mean, was it? You got Natron Means Business, Bad Moon Rising,
Yep.
just all the stuff, as he went on his NFL kick. But even before that, you had him basically being the person that was the foundation that everything was built on.
Yep.
I think there's an interview of him in the 80s, interviewing the Parquet, Boston Celtics championship, stuff like that. And there's gonna be some guys. So I want to leave some guys for honorable mention. So I'm not gonna go into other people that were around during that time. So there's some honorable mentions that we definitely got to get into.
I got a list of honorable mentions too. So,
Oh, I got a list.
all right. Okay.
For my final spot.
Last but not least,
I think this is gonna be Unison too.
It did in my
you
heart.
think so?
Huh?
You
I
think
think
this
this.
will be Unison?
I think so. If it's what I think it is, go ahead, say it.
This is near and dear to my heart because of his ties to the area, and that's Scott Van Pelt.
Oh, never mind. Scratch that one off the list. That's
Even now, the shape that ESPN is in, it's not like the ESPN that we grew up to watching and we watched as young adults. Because things change, and there's only one guarantee in life, and there is no guarantees. And Scott Van Pelt at 11 p.m., especially after Sunday Night Football, man, it'd be hard as hell to go to bed because he started reeling off, and then I love the intro of the 11 p.m. Sports Center when he's on. Even though it's on the West Coast, he always does the go-go intro for Sports Center. And I believe that was done by Rare Essence. Always going to be one of my favorites.
I thought it was a Chuck Brown joint.
I have to look. I can't remember. I thought it was Rare Essence that did that. Might be Chuck. I know he did have one with Chuck.
Okay.
To fill out my Mount Rushmore, I got Dan Patrick.
Bing. That's what I thought.
I got Dan Patrick, man. Dan was just so smooth when he was in that chair, man. His voice and the way he delivered, I always enjoyed watching Dan Patrick. So much so that when he went to the radio, I was always listening. I still listen to his show now. But Dan was just so smooth with it, man. And it's just one of them things that he pulled me in. If I had a choice, I'm looking for Stewart. I'm looking for Dan Patrick. Those are my guys.
No, that's totally it. It was like Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann. I think that would have been, and you might have to correct me on years, KG, but I want to say that's like 96, 97. Because I feel like every morning I got up when I was in my apartment on campus. So my campus apartment was 97, 98. I think I always woke up and boom, hit the TV right to Sports Center. Like it was automatic. Like I would wake up, Sports Center, go take a shower, come back, get dressed. Sports Center's on. I'm watching because at that time they rolled it, right? So you'd see the next. It was just a continuous roll.
Yep.
So I had to be out by a certain time because I used to work in the bookstore. So I'd get in the bookstore, boom, come back between classes, watch whatever else was on ESPN. But ESPN was like my go-to. It was the end all be all. And Dan Patrick was the beginning, not the beginning, because of course you had Berman, but he was just like one of those foundational pieces. Like when I actually got to pay attention to Sports Center, and it became like the center of my day. That's who it was.
All right, gents. Now I know my honorable mentions list is long, so I will give it to you two gentlemen first for honorable mentions.
Well, just go ahead and say your first one, and let's just see if we all have it, so that way we can just keep the party moving.
Yeah.
Well, no particular order, but since I said Scott Van Pelt last, his partner from SVP and Ryan Russillo.
Okay.
Okay.
You can name another one because I ain't got Ryan Russillo in mind. And my
Speaking of ladies, Hannah Storm.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to think of.
Okay.
I'll give you that one.
Okay.
Kari Champion.
Yeah. Okay.
Kenny Mayne.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's definitely one I got on my list.
Carl Ravitch.
That's another I got on my list.
I got him on my list.
He
Kevin
got bumped.
Nagandi.
Who?
You said who?
Kevin Nagandi.
Oh yes.
Okay. Okay.
Was he a anchor? Yeah, he was. He was.
And I watched him on SportsCenter. I think he was weekend on SportsCenter, but he had a radio show on ESPN Radio when 980 was owned by ESPN.
Yeah, so he used to do he had his own college football show on Saturday mornings. So it was him, I think it was him and Kuiper that did a show every Saturday morning. I think they started at either 7 or 8 because that used to be my soundtrack when I used to go pick up Josh. And then when their show ended, it would take you right into College Game Day. So by the time I got home, I'd do something for like an hour, and then boom, we're in the game day, and we on and popping.
Rich Eisen.
That's a guy that probably hold on. I gotta stretch. Get it ready. Now here's a guy that probably is in my top 6 easily. Rich Eisen's probably had one of the better careers after ESPN. I think he reached his peak post ESPN by going to NFL Network. I think he's the one person that like his rating or his style got to shine more getting outside of the ESPN market.
Absolutely.
Agreed. L. Duncan. You don't remember L. Duncan?
I remember L. Duncan. I'm not a big L. Duncan fan.
Nah.
Right.
I'm surprised she wasn't on like SportsCenter with Tim's on, but the Knicks won the championship.
Now, of course, this next one, local product, Lindsay Zarniak, when she went to SportsCenter for a little bit.
Okay.
Neil Everett.
Neil Everett.
It's another one of my favorites. Robert Flores.
Okay.
Roflo. That's another one. I love me some Roflo on MLB Central. I taped that show all baseball season. I probably watched 12 episodes because it comes on at 10, and by the time we get finished, like every now and then in the middle of the night, I'll throw it on as like just something to watch. But yeah, Roflo, D-Row, and I think it's Kikabali. I forget what the young lady's name is, but yeah, that's one of my shows, man.
Mark DeRosa, right?
Yeah.
MLB show. That's why I know.
He should be a manager right now.
Yes, because his knowledge off the charts. Now here's the old school one for you. Sunday morning, Bob Lee.
That's who I was thinking of. I couldn't think of his name. I could see his face. I could see the comb over, but I just couldn't think of his name.
Now,
Bob Lee was a monster. Because normally what used to happen was Chris Berman used to be at Boston Garden or wherever he was on site, and he would kick it back to your guy, or the other person he would kick it back to, Charlie Steiner.
Charlie Steiner is another one.
Yep.
Now, my last two honorable mentions. I love when they hosted. I think they hosted six.
How you got like 14 honorable mentions?
I told you the list was long.
Good God.
ESPN was like a big part. Like when I lived by myself for 5 years, ESPN was on my living room TV. On my bedroom TV was on USA. I never changed the channels.
I got you. No, I get it, man.
But my two favorite ESPN anchors for 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. They also did a show / podcast called His and Hers. Jamel Hill and Michael Smith.
Okay.
And the crazy thing is the His and Hers podcast. I used to listen to that
together. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I used to listen to that after the sports reporters went off on 980. They went off at 7. They would switch to that. And if I had to work late or I was on call, and I didn't go home right away. That's what I listened to from 7 to, I think it was from 7 to 8:30 or something like that. It might have been 7 to 8, but I always listen to that. That's how I became a Jamel Hill fan.
Okay.
So I was more of a his and hers fan than her and him on Sports Center fan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. So real quick, I go through my list. John Anderson, I had Kenny Mayne on my list, Keith Olbermann, Van Pelt, Wingo, Susie Colbert,
Yes,
Charlie Steiner, Chris McKendry, Steve Levy, and Carl Ravitch. So my 1AAA, and it's funny. Ryder said something about his NFL Network because I more consider him NFL Network now than I do Sports Center, and that's why I left him off the list. Is Rich Eisen, because what he does on NFL Network, I don't think they could ever replace that.
Yes.
Yep.
If it's like they found the perfect fit for what that network needed, and he does it so well. So yeah, he was a big part of Sports Center, what I watch, but I consider him NFL Network more than anything, and that's why he didn't make. I think Ryder, you said top 6 for you. I think he's top 5 for me, but he's an NFL Network guy to me, and not a Sports Center guy anymore, and not an ESPN guy.
I can't argue with that. Lee Ice. We mentioned. I think somebody just mentioned Kenny Mayne.
Yeah.
The dry humor is exactly the key to that whole thing. I used to love because he kind of evolved into kind of the. I guess my appreciation for him was he became the king of bits on the show. Like he kind of started doing stuff where he would interview people from different places and visit different cities. I think he was the person that used to do. I might be wrong on this, but I thought he used to do the ones where they would go around the country and visit every certain cities. When they did the 50 states, I thought Kenny Mayne was in that. So, I love me some Kenny Mayne. It's a lot of people. I mean, you guys said some names. I forgot about Duncan, John Anderson. That is just remind me because I hear the name. I don't see the face. That's the brother that was from Canada, right?
I believe he was.
Kenny Mayne?
No, John Anderson.
John Anderson. I don't remember where he was from.
I think he was a brother, and if he's a brother that I'm thinking about, he was from Canada. He had the gray hair, and he used to do the sports reporters. He used to be the monitor on the sports reporters. If that's who I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
No. Who am I thinking about? John Saunders.
John Saunders. Who you thinking about? You think about John Saunders.
Yes.
And I was gonna mention John Saunders, but I was like, he was more ABC than ESPN. He did ESPN special stuff, but he was more ABC. And I miss him during college football too.
I gotta give him his love just because, like, I remember for him to deal with that cast, with Carl and the Luca or whatever his name is. I can't stand him from Detroit. You know what I'm talking about. I didn't like most of the reporters because of the angles, and I'm about to go into a wormhole, so I'm gonna stop. Because I am because I think there's certain things right now. All right, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I think we've gotten to a point now with college coaches. John Chaney, John Thompson ain't walking through that door no more. So what we have here with this NIL is I know for a fact if those two were coaching and others like that in this time and era, they would put their foot down. They would make something happen. They would make people make decisions. And I just don't think we have that now in the coaching arena because no one wants to be the person to put their foot down and buck the system. And that's what we lost when we lost those two gentlemen. So that's my off the target in the conversation rant for the night. I think there should be somebody that advocates on behalf of the athletes. And the problem is the coach is too busy worrying about getting paid and keeping their players that there's no advocacy on the players' rights or the players being taken care of or being done right by the players. And I think this Brent Sorsby thing is one of those situations where if we had some rules in place and some guidelines, it wouldn't have gone down like this. He wouldn't have had those options. That's all. Back to the anchors. I apologize for that digression.
If we're looking at next week's Mount Rushmore, do we stick ESPN and go reporters, or should we pivot somewhere else?
Let's go somewhere else. I'm tired of ESPN for right now.
Yeah, let's get off of ESPN.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Because we did shows, we did anchors,
yeah,
and what else? We did 3 of them, right?
No, we just did shows and anchors. Because the anchors were spawned from the shows.
Okay.
So
yeah, let's move on graciously.
We'll figure out where to go between now and next Wednesday. But we have come to this point.
It's easy. This is an easy one. I'm gonna give you a layup.
Okay.
We're gonna do the. That's gonna be a tough one for me, but I'll pick myself in this corner. The impactful WNBA players of its history.
Done.
That sounds like a duo.
You probably got like a top 8.
That sounds like a duo show next week.
No. Then let's find something else. No. I get that. So, we'll figure it out. Let's get out. And are we gonna? Well, it's 8:30, so it's too long to whatchamacallit. But I might jump back on. I might reset the studio for 9 and do a little AJDP watch for like the first quarter.
Okay.
All right.
If I set it up, I'll set it up. If not, don't hold it against me. Because I still need to and get my day going.
Now you already said it. Now you got millions and millions.
Hey, this is the network of free will. So you got carte blanche. You got the keys. Just turn the lights out before you leave.
That's it.
I got you, man.
That's pretty much it.
That's it.
Lee, I said do announcers. If we doing announcers, are we doing
Ooh,
no, we gotta do play-by-play guys and color guys separate. You can't do
you can't do both.
Just go Keith Jackson and then what you call it?
Come with John Madden.
Right.
So I mean we can do color one week and then the week after that we do play-by-play.
Whoa. That's not being sensitive. Come on. We're doing colors. What are you talking about here?
Next, we're talking about a whites owning laundromat.
Oh man.
Okay, so next week is play-by-play.
Yeah, let's do Mount Rushmore play-by-play.
All right.
That's gonna be real interesting.
All sports.
Encompassing everything.
I feel like representation matters.
I think we should all right, so I think we should go just the Mount Rushmore period once. And it doesn't matter the sport. And then we can, if we want to delve into more individual sports, we can come back to it. That just gives us gravitas and range to do something else. Because then we can talk about your top baseball play-by-play guys. And then that nuance becomes, are we talking TV only or are we talking radio? Because TV and radio are 2 different things in baseball.
Yep.
They are.
So then it becomes, all right, are we doing just all encompassing? Like this could be a thing that runs for about 3 or 4 weeks. And if we get the hockey guys, involved, they could do a show on Monday with their version of Mount Rushmore for hockey play announcers.
I'm gonna say one thing. Please, training camp, you cannot get here quick enough. Please. Please.
I think it's been pretty good. Oh,
Yeah, we've gotten through the dog days of summer. We halfway there.
no, I mean, but this dog days of summer was different because you had the World Cup and you got some things that kind of blossom and storylines blossom because the NBA was crazy. Somehow we haven't managed to talk Wimbledon because we should be in the semis right now for the men and the women. Um, so
I'll give you my Wimbledon bit because I watched Sabalenka versus Osaka, and
Osaka won that, right?
yes, Sabalenka, she just had one of those days where everything was off. You could just tell she just couldn't get herself together. And Osaka, she tried on the second match, but Osaka ended up pulling out. It's just one of them days. Everybody has it, no matter what sport you play. You just have one of those days where you just keep hitting the back of the rim. And Sabalenka had one of those days in center court against Osaka.
Well, looking at this, Coco Gauff had a hell of a match with Mukova. Mukova wins the first set 6-2. Gauff wins 6-1. And then in the third set, it's 7-6. But the tiebreaker goes 12-10 to Mukova. And then Noskova, who's the 9 seed, she wins in straight sets 6-4, 6-4. I'm going to say that's Ostrich or Kostrich. So the final is going to be Noskova versus Mukova. That's the 9 and 10 seeds in the final for the women's side. What was the men's? I don't know what the men's setup is. If I can get that real quick, I'll give you the men's. That's the quarter. So then the semi should be tomorrow because they play Sunday. They don't have it. Oh, that's the doubles. They don't have the men's single. Hold on. No, that's quarter. That's quarter. No, that's all different stuff. So we'll figure that out at a later date and time.
All right. I don't really have anything to wrap it up. I think I'm good. Midnight Rider. What we got coming up tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I don't know. This gonna be the true essence of a freestyle. We're gonna figure it out. 7:30. I was thinking actually, B, if your boy could be available for boxing, maybe we talk boxing, but I don't know if that's gonna work with his schedule. But
Probably not.
so yeah, I think me and Mrs. Boss will figure some stuff out. Give you a good 30 minutes of fun. Throw the suggestion box out, and that's for anybody. Let's make sure we throw it out in the Sideline Junkies group, and make sure we throw it out to the people early in the morning. See if we can get some suggestions or something to throw out there, and just go from there, man. But I do have a side topic for her just in case we don't have anything, and it's going to be a music topic, so you might want to jump in, KG. But here's something I'm thinking about, and it all depends on how the show goes. But it's albums that you can just pick up randomly and just play. So you haven't heard the album in a long time, but all you do is you pick that CD up and you play it. So like for me, an album that if like I go to the crate and I pick it up and I'm like, damn, I ain't listen to it in a minute. Dave Hollister, Chicago '85.
Banger of an album.
You just but that's new enough that you ain't gotta blow the dust off the album no more. You can just go to the Spotify and pull that album up and you just let it play. Or you go to YouTube and play it. But that's an
The
album.
Night I Fell in Love by Luther Vandross.
Say that again.
The Night I Fell in Love by Luther Vandross. The original vinyl album that's in the pink joint with him laying back like that. Yeah.
But if any dude laid down on the album,
You knew it was gonna be fire.
Yeah, that was a classic.
You knew it was gonna be fire.
Yo, you should just jump in for 10, 15 minutes if we do that, man.
See what I can do.
All right. Anything, boss?
I don't have anything. Like always, man. Thank y'all for the support for the Sideline Junkies podcast network is greatly appreciated. We see everybody on social media, we reshares, the reposts, we appreciate it, the likes. Um, we definitely appreciate it, and we got more things coming up, cooking for the rest of the year. So stay tuned.
Yo, I can't unsee what you told me earlier in that message you sent me.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
So
yeah.
So let me explain, because everybody it's one of our viral clips right now. We have a clip where Josh and on Unapologetic is talking about they going over the top 10 shooting guards, and he's explaining Dwayne Wade's playoff run, and he said it may be even better than Jordan's. And in that moment, Lee Ice leans back and rolls his eyes. It is so comical.
Did you put that on TikTok?
It's everywhere.
Okay.
It's everywhere.
Because I didn't notice it at first, and then when I saw it, I was like, I can't unsee it.
You can't. It's hilarious. And I put nephew Josh onto how popular he is on TikTok on 2 of those reels and those comments he get.
Okay.
So yeah,
you're right. They do have a chemistry, and it's also because of their time somewhere else. But yeah, they got a chemistry. It's natural, and it works, man.
Hey, look, I'm just glad that somewhere else let them be here.
Right.
So I give try to give everybody flowers individually in the messenger, but Unapologetic Sports is something else, man. I love it. I love their chemistry. I feel like they're unlocked. If there was microtransactions we were talking about on EA Sports, I feel like they got over here. We paid real money for them, and they unlocked. I love it, man. So, Flying Brian, Lee Ice, man, y'all doing y'all thing over there, and not the short anybody drive time. I just went through, and you get to see Maddie and Scooter talking about the NHL trades and everything that's going on. Coach Drip, Miller from MFV All Sports Network.
Yo, that was a dope episode.
Yeah, it really was. It really was, man. And then of course, the guys on Wednesday night with Nothing But Net, Midnight Rider Perry, JG and Josh. So, man, network is doing this thing, man. I really appreciate everything. Everybody that's contributing. It's definitely appreciated for sure.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. And we can't say it anymore than what we already have, but we're going to do it again. Thank you again for allowing us into your home, your car, your kitchen, wherever you listen to us, wherever you watch us at. So stay tuned for what we got coming up next.
Oh, no. Let's go. Next, we're going to go 905. We're going to go Watch Party, Darren Peterson, AJ DeBonsa. Send it to everybody else on the network that's not here tonight. Just tell them to jump in. We're going to use this studio. So send them this studio in the link. And I'll figure out, I got a background. So yeah. And I'll schedule everything. Let's go.
All right.
Let's do it.
Midnight Ride.
I ain't going more than the first quarter.
Big guy.
Big guy got to go to bed. I got to get up at 5:30. But to the hardest working man in podcast land,
yo,
cut the lights out when you leave. That's all it is to
it. Hey, I'm going to try to cut them lights out right away, dog. I ain't going past the first quarter.
So, 15 minutes, the Midnight Ride. It's going to be a 15-minute break.
Right,
and then the Midnight Ride comes back.
Yep.
So, until then, Thursday Night Throwdown is done. I don't even know what it's going to be, but you getting ready to get it with the Midnight Ride at 9:05. So stay tuned.
Summer League watch.
TBS time.
Yeah, because I think the game starts at 9:03. So we'll be right there.
TBS time.
All right, baby. Peace.
Out.